Hello, welcome to Karma's a Stitch. I'm Tanya.
I'm Anthony.
And we're going to try to talk a little bit louder today because we are outside. In our house right now, we have no air conditioning. Air conditioning is out. And air conditioning man cannot get here until Monday. I'm going to move you a little bit closer. Maybe we won't have to talk quite as loud today. Should I lower it down a little bit?
Maybe I could just sit up.
Oh, I want you comfy.
No, it's comfy.
Okay. So the air conditioning company can't get here till next Monday to fix it. And we have been in the upper 90s in Fahrenheit. I'll put the temperature currently on the screen.
That's like 30 something Fahrenheit Celsius.
Yeah, so it's been toasty. So today we decided we would try to sit outside to record. With that being said, since we have set up, we have had sprinklers going behind us. We have had lawnmowers going off in front of us over here. And so if it gets too obnoxious, we will try to go inside. But we have loads of stuff to share. So get something to drink, get something to work on, and get comfy. This one may be one where you have to pause and take a break and refill, take a potty break, and come back and finish because there's a lot of stuff here today. So, okay, we'll start. I'm Tanya.
I'm Anthony.
And this is Karma's a Stitch. If you want to get in touch with us, you can find me on Ravelry as 76Karma. Anthony has a Ravelry. What are you on Ravelry?
96 or 94 Karma.
94 Karma. And I'm going to try really hard to make sure all of my projects from today are on Ravelry. I have not done that, and I have several new cast-ons. I'm going to try really hard to make sure that I have those pages up and current. Yes, you can email me at tanya@karmasastitch.com. And you can find me on Instagram, which is Karma's a Stitch. Anthony is working on something. Let's see if I lower it down a little bit, if we can see what you're working on at all. Yay.
It's not going to be a hat.
So, yes, welcome. Bunch of rambling already, and I'm terribly sorry. Welcome, everybody. We have been doing Christmas in July Vlogmas. And so if you are not watching Vlogmas, that is why we are going to continue to do our episodes. During the summer, I did say we were going to do that every 2 weeks. So it's been 2 weeks since we've done one of these. And we start every one of our episodes with a scripture. And the scripture for this episode is Psalms 56, 3-4. And I will put that up at the end of the episode. We start our episodes talking about new stuff. And we both have new stuff. Do you want to share your new stuff first? You want me to share my new stuff first? Okay, so each one of my new things, and this is where, when I say it's going to be a long one, it's because I'm going to end up just telling you a story of how I came across all of the stuff. The Wednesday after our last cast-on party, we have a yarn store in a town called Marsing. And Marsing is about a 45 minute drive from my house. And they have a yarn shop, but they also have a mill, a wool mill, in addition to raising alpacas. So I went out there on a Wednesday night, and they give tours of their mill and their process of, getting the fleece and the whole process of getting a fleece off of an alpaca all the way to where you can put it into a project. It was pretty phenomenal. I took a bunch of pictures, and I will include those pictures here. Ooh, sorry. A lot of the pictures are showing different machinery. I don't remember what they were all called, but they're still pretty cool to look at. So I will include them, and I'll put a little slideshow here. And then after the slideshow, I'll talk about what I left there with.
Oh, you left with something.
Are you surprised?
Honestly, no. Yeah, with all the yarn that you have,
I know, I need to start making more projects.
no, you don't. Or you can. Yeah.
I need to finish some before I start
There
more.
you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. That's what I'll focus on. I do have a couple of FOs this week.
Nice.
Okay, so anyway, here's
so you
this.
can start a couple more projects.
I have.
this week.
I have. So here's the slideshow, and we'll be back in a minute. So wasn't that so cool? I mean, that was pretty fantastic. I had so much fun there, and I learned so much. But then when he was showing, they can mix their alpaca with merino. Sometimes they mix their alpaca with bamboo or silk or the stellina. They have a lot of really neat stuff. So I ended up leaving with this here. Yarnageddon is what they've got. This colorway is called Sea Glass. And I'm sorry, the camera is on the side of the phone with Anthony's face, so I could put it in front of my face, but you wouldn't see it. So I have to put it over here. I'm sorry, bub.
It's all good.
So this colorway is Sea Glass. They're calling it a 2-ply worsted with 200 yards. Now, one thing I've noticed with the Yarnageddon yarn is their labels have the yardage and the weight of the yarn as far as the thickness of the ply, but they don't have the weight of this skein. So normally you'll buy a 100-gram skein, but that's not necessarily what you're getting. I thought that was very interesting. And this blend here is 70% alpaca, 20% merino silk blend, and 10% bamboo. Feel that.
So I have a question.
Yep.
Now, since you went there and you went through the whole, tour and everything,
Mm-hmm.
how do they put bamboo in yarn?
So they get the bamboo shredded, and they have the bamboo plied. It's very thin material that the bamboo has already gone through a process, and then they ply it with the yarn. You see how this is twisted? You can see a twist there. So the bamboo is twisted in with it.
Oh, okay. Feels really soft.
It's amazing. It is so squishy soft. I love this. And I knew if I only got one skein, I was going to start a project wishing I had 2 skeins. So I got 2 skeins. So there's my new wool from Yarnageddon. My next new thing is another skein of yarn, and it is from Palouse Yarn Company, also a local to Idaho yarn company. And we have a retreat coming, and she is going to be a vendor at the retreat. And so she is wanting to put together a kit because we're doing a make-along for this retreat. And so a couple of us on a team we're working on putting together samples for the vendors that are going to be at the retreat, so they would have samples of their yarn in the booth in these make-along patterns that were selected. And so as I did a sample knit for her, a sample crochet for her, and this skein of yarn was my thank you.
Oh, she just gave that to you.
The person I did the sample for gave it to me. So this one is 100% superwash merino. It is a single ply.
It looks like, I like how they have, looks like a goat or a sheep. Yeah, no, not a goat, a sheep.
Mm-hmm.
But it has like the like
skein of yarn as the body.
Yarn. Yeah, exactly.
Isn't that great?
That's
Very
really
creative. Neat. So this is 100% superwash merino, 475 yards, in 115 gram skein. This one colorway is sapphire, and I love this blue. I love it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it because it is a single, but have all the, oh, did you see that big old bee? Have all the faith that I will find something amazing to do with this at some point in the future. Okay. So my next new thing is a little different. And it has a whole nother story. I wasn't kidding. I really hope you guys are comfortable. So Anthony and I decided, I think it was the Sunday. It was a Sunday. It was the Sunday after the cast on party. I went and picked Anthony up, and I was over at his house, and I was looking for his project bag, and he had this stuff on his chair in his living room.
A recliner.
Yeah, and I was like, what is all this? Where did all this come from?
And then a rug, and then I had like some other stuff.
Like, he had some new stuff. I was like, where did all this come from? And he's like, oh, well, I was taking the dog for a walk yesterday, and I came across a garage sale, and I got to talking to the folks. Anthony's very social. He's never met a stranger. And so he starts talking to the people at the garage sale. He pulls up a chair. He hangs out there the rest of the afternoon.
Hey, hold on now. They pulled up a chair. They said, hey, come sit down.
Doesn't look like this guy's going anywhere. Let's get him off his feet.
No. They were in love with Luna, and so I was like I got there, and they're like, oh my gosh, the dog is so cute. And
DeLuna is the Boston Terrier that we've shared pictures with in the past.
And then we were talking just like really quick, very briefly. And then they're just like, and then I was like, it's like, all right, well, I'm gonna go look at the stuff you guys have out here in the yard and everything. And then one of them cracks a joke. They're just like, oh yeah, well no, we'll hold the dog. And I was like, because they had two dogs, and super friendly. And I was just like, it's like, do you want to? So they're just like, yeah. So they were holding on to DeLuna, and I was going out there. I bought a couple of things, and then I went and I grabbed DeLuna, and just ended up just chilling there
the rest of the day until they closed their garage sale.
You make it sound like I'm just
you
like
are a friendly person, and you're very social, and I think it's wonderful. There's nothing wrong with it. You will never be at a loss for company. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could go anywhere and start a conversation with somebody, and you would be comfortable, and you'd be okay with it. And I think it's wonderful. I thought it was so wonderful that the next day when I got to his house and I saw all this stuff and he's telling me the story, I was like, that sounds like a lot of fun. Let's go see if we can find another garage sale. And what did we do?
We went and found two more.
We hopped in the car, and around here, garage sales typically take place on Friday and Saturday. Sunday's not a big garage sale day around here. And so we ended up, sorry about the wind, you guys. It's a little breezy, but it feels good with no air conditioning.
Well, So
There's
you
no
guys-
breeze on the inside of the house. There's a
well,
breeze out here.
There's a breeze at my house.
So,
My AC's not broken.
just mine. So we got in the car and we just got to talking, and I just was driving, and I would turn here and drive a little ways and then turn here. We were just looking for a garage sale sign. And we finally saw, and I didn't even know where we were. We had just driven around for about 25 minutes. And finally I see a sign that says garage sale, and we turn and we look. The garage sale had already closed. There was nobody there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and there were like 3 other cars following. We were all looking for the same garage sale, which was no longer. And so we left that neighborhood and we were driving, and I still didn't know where we were. And we, a leaf just blew in your cup. That's so funny. So then we ended up going down this main road and finding another sign. We followed that, and we come to this garage sale. And we walk up to the garage sale. There's 2 of them right across the street from each other.
Mm-hmm.
And we get to talking, and I'll tell you what, it was the craziest thing, because I'm looking at stuff, and Anthony walks around the corner of the house to do something, and I'm like, Messier, what are you doing?
That's my last name.
I call him by his last name. And I'm like, what are you doing? And the gentleman had followed him around the house to see what he was doing, and Anthony and him.
I would too if
Yeah.
some stranger was, you know.
And so Anthony and him get to talking, and I start listening in on the conversation. Within seconds, this man is talking to Anthony about brain injuries. It was very random, like out of the blue, don't know where it came from.
It was just completely. I don't even remember what we were talking about before.
It was very random, and this gentleman just brought up brain injuries and how his stepson, his wife's son, had suffered a traumatic brain injury, and he was inside, and you know, things they were dealing with him, and I stopped him, and I was like,
I could tell you were getting a little tired, teary-eyed.
well, no, it wasn't the teary-eyed. I was just amazed. I was like, what has transpired that would cause you to want to talk about brain injuries with these people at your garage sale? You know, like, is this something he was speaking to everyone about? Or it was odd. It was odd that he just started talking to us about brain
It
injuries.
was really random.
It was very random.
I mean, it was, you know, good.
It was great.
Yeah, but it was just.
It was completely provoked. It was not something. Anthony had a hat on. You couldn't see his scars. I mean, it was.
I'm usually always wearing that.
Yeah, it was different. And so we stood there talking to these folks about brain injuries and things. And then we went to the neighbor across the street, and, you know, I'm like, Anthony finds a wind chime, and I'm looking through books. I'm like, maybe I'll find something for Alex. And I come across this book. Funky Knitting is fab things, and 19 fab things to knit. 50 cents. You guys, it has patterns. I mean, look at how cute that hat is. This whole book, I was so excited. It says nice and easy. Snow bunny hat. I mean, look at how cute. Yeah, so anyway, there were a lot of how was I not going to get this? Like, look at this scarf. Look at that scarf. So yeah, I got a new book.
Yeah, I looked, like, that was around the same time that I found the wind chime. And I looked up, and I was like, hey, do you think I can have my card so I can get this? And then I looked up, and she's looking down at a book, and I read the title, and it was Funky Knitter. I was like, she's gonna get that book. And
Well, here it says, make your life more fun and funky. Look at those leg warmers. Anyway, so yes, I got a new book. And then if you're watching Vlogmas, I ended up getting some DPNs, Knitter's Pride, because I do have a couple of new whips that I'll be sharing today. And I had to put one of them on 9-inch circulars, and I definitely prefer DPNs. So I've got a new pair of those.
whenever you say circulars, I keep thinking that you like needles with a cord.
That is what they are.
And
I
then-
have-
well, because you said circulars and then you pointed at those. I'm
No,
like,
I have a project on a 9-inch circular, so it's 9 inches with a very short cable.
okay.
But it's easier for me to use the DPNs. DPNs is double pointed needle, so it's easier for me to use those. And I also have a new whip that I'm doing some cable work with, and so I got a new one of these fun things. I'm going to see if I can make it work for my cabling.
What's
Yay
that?
me. So a cable means you take a stitch off of your needle. See, let me show you. I'll do a cable here. 1 second. So you would take this stitch off.
Mm-hmm.
It's being held on my needle holder now.
Oh, so it's
And then I
not-
knit this stitch. And then I put this one back on. And then I knit this. And now you've got a cable. You've got things crossing.
It was just too neat.
Yeah, so you do that. That's how you make a lot of different patterns. Right? That's how you would make a lot of patterns. So yeah, it works. I'm going to try it on my pattern now. So I got a new thing.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Fun,
dang
fun,
cool.
fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you have for new stuff? That's all my new stuff.
That's all your new stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're 20 minutes in. I've just now finished talking about new stuff.
So new stuff.
Yes.
Well, I got this yarn from.
Do you have the ball band?
I do.
Let's talk about that. I'll hold the yarn if you want to read your ball band.
Okay. So I got that yarn from my grandma. Thank you very much, Grandma. And it's 100% acrylic yarn. It's by Mainstays. And it's 285 yards or 260 meters. And it's 141.7 grams. And it calls for a US 9.
Very good. Yep.
I think I'm using a US 8. I do believe so.
And you'll talk about that with your whip.
With my whip.
Yes.
Yep.
There you go.
Alright. And it is being housed in, like, is this where we talk about?
Nope. In your whip section.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm gonna wait for that one.
Yep. I gave him stuff. Yeah.
Oh, so is this like
Yep.
new stuff?
That's new stuff.
Okay.
Very good.
And then my grandma also sent me this. It's the Cabo knitting knockers.
It's approved by.
It's approved by Knitting Knockers. And
So what that means is
Yeah.
knitted knockers, breast cancer awareness.
yes.
It's soft, comfortable knit prosthetics for breast cancer survivors. So people make prosthetic breasts. So women that have suffered and survived breast cancer have something comfortable that they can put in against their skin. And so this is approved by Knitted Knockers. And I think that's amazing. It is by Lion Brand. There you go.
Okay.
And that's what it's made out of.
So it's made out of 51% cotton, 49% rayon from bamboo, and it's 100 grams, 232 yards, and it calls for
a US
a 6, a US 6.
Yep.
So thank you, Grandma. And so this, what I'm working on right now, and then all the yarn that Lee has sent me, all of that is going to go towards projects that I'm working on to go to the homeless shelter, because it is, hot here in the summertime, but in the winter,
Folks will need some warm stuff.
yeah, would be nice to have a hat, scarf, something. So
Blanket. Yeah.
And so that's what I'm making for him.
That'll be good.
Yeah.
Is that it for new stuff for you?
I do believe so.
All right. So whips.
Whips.
Yep. You want me to talk about mine first?
Yep.
Okay. You guys, I've got some whips.
Yes, she does.
Okay. So we had the last cast on party on June 25th, and Mandy at Mouse's Makes is having a make along, and it's the hashtag on Instagram is knitting with Ukraine, but it doesn't have to be knitted. It could be crochet. I think she said sewn. Anyway, the designer has to be a Ukrainian designer, and you need to tag that designer on Instagram so that they can get some notification that people are trying to just support them. So that was you'd want to go check out Mandy. She gives all the details. She has made one exception of the patterns that would be accepted into her make along. So go check her out at Mouse's Makes here on YouTube, and she will she'll give you all the information you need.
I don't know why I'm looking at you. She's looking at the camera.
So at the last cast on party, I wanted to have all my cast-ons be by Ukrainian designers because I did want to participate in Mandy's make-along. So I have some new stuff, and the wind is blowing other stuff into my project bag.
Yeah, like in my coffee.
Yes. So the first thing that I cast on were the retro ankle socks. Here's a picture. And I am doing these on a US 1. These were the ones done on the circular that I will be putting on the DPNs with my cable. So these two items are going to go into this project bag. The project bag, I have them in Llama Llama,
Red pajama.
Yama Yama.
Red pajama.
This is an eco bag. This is something I won as a door prize when the shop owner to one of our local yarn shops had come back from a big trip to a yarn festival, and she had a bunch of door prizes, and this was one of them that I had won. So I'm using Plucky Knitter One Hit Wonder, her feet base, which is 90% superwash merino, 10% nylon. And the color I am using is this here. And this is as far as I've gotten. Please don't be disappointed.
She's gotten super far.
Stop it. That's it. I've gotten a cuff done. That's it.
Wait, so a cuff of what?
A cuff of a sock. This will go around my
Sock.
ankle, and I'll build a sock down. It'll have a heel here, and it'll go down my foot. This is the cuff. Mm-hmm.
It's the goof.
Yes, so here is the yarn again.
Have you thought about making ankle socks?
That's what these are. Yeah, here's
Well,
a picture.
like, I meant like.
No, I'm gonna follow the pattern pretty close, I think. I'm pretty excited about it. I really did want to get DPNs before I went further on this. That's the excuse I'm giving at this point in time. I have other excuses, but that's the one I'm gonna use right now. So that is my first whip, and that is from the cast on party. And I'm gonna go back to where I was in the pattern. There we go. And then my second whip there was an order to these, is being housed in this bag by my mother, made by my mom. And this one is another pair of socks. This is the blue whale sock. And you'll see this one is 2 colors. Okay.
Why is it called a blue whale sock?
It's just the name they gave it. This is also on the Plucky Knitter Feet Base, 90% superwash merino, 10% nylon. It's a one-hit wonder, so there's no colorway. And these are going on in this color. So here was my thought. I have the cuff done. Again, the cuff in this one. See the cuff? And this was different. This was a twisted rib cuff. I had never done that before. Now, I was thinking with this cuff, I would do this pair of socks second because I was going to make the feet this color. Okay, so I have
But then you're gonna make toes.
this multicolor again.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what this calls for.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it looks like.
Yep. That's my plan. These
Please.
ones, however, I put on a US 2 DPNs. Okay. Now my third cast on, am I flying by this? Am I flying through it?
You are, yeah, we're going pretty quick.
Is the home socks. Also 2 colors. And I have these in my Cormo bag. Doing these. Shocking, I know. Plucky Knitter, the feet base, which is 90% superwash merino, 10% nylon. And look what I got. I got another cuff.
Got another cuff.
Yep. So this one,
Imagine that.
also twisted rib. I am gonna make good progress on this, these socks the next week. I really have a good reason why I don't have much more than cuffs done since the cast on party, and I will get into all of that. But these are the cuffs, and I'm going to do the foot bit in that multicolor of the other sock. So I've got these 3 colors, and I'm kind of interchanging them all with these 3 different patterns. But yeah, so that's what I'm making. What do you think?
Looks groovy. You know, coming from somebody who started a sock, the very, very, very first sock, it's like, I cannot wait to get this sock done because I just do not like socks. You were making a bunch of socks.
I'm making 3 pairs of socks, but I'll tell you what, I tried to find other patterns that I would make by Ukrainian designers.
Yeah.
And I picked out 2 sweaters, and I could not make sense of the pattern right there on the 1 second, Anthony's getting a call. Okay, you ready to start again?
I'm so ready.
Because I have more whips.
Just keep going.
Okay, so I was at the yarn shop for a girlfriend's birthday, and I completed a project while I was there, and I was like, oh, I'm ready to start another one that I brought. And then it occurred to me that the only thing I brought to the knitting shop with me were crochet projects, which I had just finished a crochet project. That's all I had worked on since the cast on party, and I really wanted to knit, but I didn't bring any knitted stuff with me. So I went to my library on Ravelry, and I pulled up a pattern that I've had in there for a very long time, and I was like, yes, I could make that. That looks fun. So I am making the litmus cowl.
I have a question.
Yes.
How did I do that?
You picked up a stitch. There you go.
Sweet, thank you.
You're welcome. So I am making the litmus cowl. It was a pattern I already had in my library, and so then I had to go shopping for a project. Now this pattern,
As if you didn't have any.
I didn't have any more with me.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like you had to get needles and everything.
I did have to get needles. I didn't have any knitting needles with me.
Oh, that makes sense, okay.
Okay, so this is calling for a US 4, but they didn't have the right length. I needed 16-inch US 4, and they had either a 3 or a 5 at the yarn shop. She was all out of 4s. So I went up a needle size, so I got a US 5, and it uses 1 full skein, okay, a full skein of yarn. You will need approximately, let me see where it says here, a set of 24 5-gram mini skeins and a full skein of another color. So this was the main color that I got. This is, woo! Queen City yarn, a coordination of color, hand dyed in Charlotte, North Carolina. It is 75% superwash merino. It's on her Uptown sock base, 20% nylon, 5% stellina. It's got 435 yards, and the colorway is rose gold. Now, this colorway, you guys, can you see that? Oh, I wish the sun would shine right on that. Is there any? We're in the shade, so you're not going to see it. I don't know that you can see the stellina in there. Okay, it is rose gold. We pulled all these colors together, and they said, oh, it just looks so romantic. And then we were trying to find the right base, right? Because she has in her shop these minis. These were 5, whoop! These are 5-gram minis. Those were perfect. And she's like, oh, it looks so romantic. These colors just look very romantic. And then we pulled out this rose gold, and it's got like a little bit of gray, and she's like, well, it's kind of like a dirty pink. I was like, oh my gosh, it's dirty romance. That's the one I want. So that's what I got. I am calling this my Dirty Romance cowl. And I am using these rainbow minis, mixed bases of superwash merino and merino blends, approximately 18 to 20 yards each. They are roughly 5 grams a piece. And in the pattern, it is written that they can get about 11 rounds per 5 gram mini. So here is how far I've gotten on my litmus cowl, my Dirty Romance.
Dirty Romance.
So yes, this is so much fun. I have really, and I will get a stitch marker, a progress keeper on this to show my progress, because this is so much fun. I'm truly enjoying every bit of this. So I started working on this at the yarn shop that day, and the shop owner was there, and she was like, so this right here is about how much I'm having left of each mini, each 5 gram mini. So the shop owner was like, oh, well, the construction of the litmus cowl, I have a pattern similar to that she had written and has published, and it's on Ravelry. And she said, I really would love to have a sample made. So if you enjoy making that one, if you would be interested. And I said, oh my gosh, yeah, sign me up. I'll make a sample for your shop. This is the shop where I did that pink sun hat a few months ago.
Yeah, 3 loves.
Yeah, and so she ended up pulling out these colors of yarn. And if you're watching the Christmas in July vlog, you will have seen Alex organizing these colors, because it calls for 8 colors. Okay, and this one is called the Audrey cowl. It is done on a thicker yarn. And let's see, this is cashmere DK. Yep, so this is DK weight. It's called the Audrey cowl. You can see it is definitely thicker yarn. But the construction of it is similar to that of the litmus cowl. And the colors are all Cascade Yarns Superwash. The gold here, this is the yellow, color 0877. And I will show you guys the colors first. This is a blue, color 904. This green, color 1919. This red, color 314. This light taupe, I think I would call this color. This is color 1926. I love this one. Oh my gosh, I love this color so much. Look at that. Oh, the sun's peeking through. Color 863. I mean, it looks like it's got red and gold and brown. I mean, it's maybe some black. It's absolutely beautiful. And then we've got this one, color 289. And then we've got this purple, and I say purple, periwinkle, color 295. Look at all of the colors in that. Oh, so fun. So those are the colors that she chose, and you can see here, Alex labeled them for me. So this will be color E. This will be color F. Alex put them all in order for me, and she's very excited about the color that she put. And here is the progress I've made on this one. So the red down here is the provisional cast on. Isn't that great? I do like how these are going together. So this is a sample I'm making. I am using my Likey interchangeables with a US 7. I am doing, because this was a sample knit for her pattern and it calls for a 7, so that is what I'm using. I wasn't gonna modify the needle size, and it's looking great. Yeah, so I'm excited to have some progress on that one as well, because this has been really fun and speedy, so speedy. Okay, so there's that whip. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 whips at this point in time.
How much more do you have?
I have one more whip. And the last and final whip I have to share is the project I am doing for my Advent for Christmas in July. And you know, Advents are tough because, you know, you don't know exactly what you're in for. And with this project, I had seen the minis. I knew what the colors were. I'm trying to find a good picture here. I wanted something that I would be able to keep up with on a regular basis. I didn't want something too complex, because I wanted to be able to keep up with it and show progress. So I am doing the Waxing Moon Shawl by Emily O'Brien, and I am having so much fun. It says pattern by Kitty with a Cupcake. Isn't that fun? So if you've been watching the vlog, you'll know that I have had some orange, okay? And I wanted all of the orange on one piece, on one section, because I will fold that in first and wrap the rest of it around me. I wanted that. I want those out of the way. They were my least favorite, and there were several of them. And I didn't want to have those pops of color that I don't particularly love popping up in every bit of this pattern. This pattern does give you the option of 2 different edges. So you can do this lace bit or just have this twisted cord edging. So you do get each option as part of the pattern. It calls for a US 5. Let's see if that's what I kept true to. Sorry, I'm gonna try to keep it somewhat organized so when I go back in, I'm not total disaster. Get it in my little sleeve here. And I did go down a needle size. I got a US 4. I'm doing my Chow Goose, which I love. I have a neighbor over here who's
Let's talk.
he's having a very animated conversation. Okay, so this pattern has been sheer joy. I don't have to think about it. There's short rows, but there's no twists and turns. You just go down to the marker and come back. And the marker moves so many stitches with each down and back pass. And it has just, I've thoroughly enjoyed this. I am putting the mini that I'm currently working on in my little cake pod made by my mother. Okay. It is very handy. I can put this on my wrist. I can be doing stuff with Alex. I can be making stuff in the house. I could be doing things. I can be supervising, and I've got my yarn right here. And yes, very, very handy. I am just about done. I'm not using all of these mini skeins. I probably have about 8 grams left of each skein. These are 20 gram minis. The yarn I'm using came out of a summer kit I got from Cashmere and Coconuts on Etsy. So that's how much I have left. And here is my progress.
So I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
What about orange do you not like?
I'm not sure.
You just don't like it?
It's just, I mean, it looks okay on some things. It's just truly my least favorite. So yeah, here we have the first, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, and now I'm working on the sixth. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Because the first day I just introduced the project. Today I'm just going to show you the pattern because there were only 24 minis and 1 full skein. The full skein I will use as the lace border because I am going to do the lace border on this project. And yeah, I mean, feel it. Yeah, it's nice, huh?
Yeah.
So these are superwash and nylon. I would have to double check that. I'll try to correct myself if I'm incorrect with this. But yes, absolutely loving this pattern. Very excited. The pattern gives you those 2 different edge options, but it also gives you the option of a 12 mini skein set. So it's like a half circle, or 24, and it's gonna make a full circle to wrap all the way around. This is one that I imagine I will probably be keeping, and I may make more of these. I mean, this has been a lot of fun to make. I'm really loving it. So that is my final whip. You wanna talk about your whip?
Sure. All right. Yep.
So you are making.
So yes, I'm making not a scarf, a cowl, an infinity scarf,
Mm-hmm.
and
Similar to the ones I'm doing.
yes, and it's gonna be like long enough to where you can put it on and then you can like double. Yeah, and so this is what it's gonna look like.
So you're using the yarn you just talked about that you got from Grandma.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
So that's one good thing about that, because we had talked about him making one of what I'm making. And he's like, I don't know how I feel about changing colors. How do we solve that?
Got multicolor yarn.
There you go. And it was perfect because we had just gotten that from Grandma.
Yeah.
So you want to hold it up there so people can see how great the colors are looking together?
Looking really good.
Look at how even your stitches look. When did you start that?
I remember the other day I started it. I think I got like three rounds done.
Yesterday. You started it yesterday when we were on Zoom.
Oh yeah.
It was just yesterday that he started
Yeah.
this. And
But-
we cast on, do you remember how many stitches we cast on?
I think 80.
80 or 90?
No, it called for 90. But it called for 100.
I think we did 90.
Okay. 80 or 90. And so yesterday I did three rounds, but the rest of it's just today. So yeah, but then I'm gonna put a place marker so I can show you the progress. And
What size needle are you using?
I'm using a US 8. Yep. And it's Knitter's Pride Nova Platina. Yep.
24 inch.
24 inch.
Yeah.
US 8.
You got it in a project bag?
got it in a project bag. My grandma did not make this.
Mm-mm. This came from the retreat I went to last year. Anthony lost his last, it has been misplaced, the
Yes.
last set of needles and project bag and yarn and project. So he has a new project bag
Yes.
and new needles and projects. Let's hope he doesn't lose these. I have faith.
Yes. And because I'm not going to, I'm just saying if I do, I would have lost another pair of my mom's needles. Yarn that I didn't buy. Last time I bought the yarn, but yarn that was gifted to me. And the bag that my mom has. It was, I guess, gifted to her
From the retreat
from
last
the
year,
retreat
yeah.
last year, and she loves the retreat. So I'm gonna really try not to lose this one.
Are you enjoying this project?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Does
Does it feel like it's making good progress?
Yeah. And so, the last bag, with this one you can close it up and you can do this. So it's like, I'll just have it around my wrist whenever I'm like on my way home, so I don't set it down and get up and forget to grab it. So,
Good plan, Stan.
yep. So that is my whip. And
Anything else you want to talk about with your whip?
am I missing anything?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Am I going to be using the whole skein?
Yep.
Yep. So I'm going to be using the whole skein. And I've used, I've used that much of it, and I got this much to go.
Yep, and we'll put a progress keeper on there so
Yep.
that next time we record, you can show how much progress you've made. Because
Yep.
this is one you have taken home, and you'll continue to take it home to work on it.
Yeah, I haven't, I put two or three rows on it while I was here, and then I took it home, put it down, and I just completely forgot about
That
it.
was one night though.
Yeah, but
Okay, well we'll see.
yeah,
Maybe you won't. Okay, are you ready to hear about my FOs?
I'm so ready to hear about your.
Okay, so FOs are currently in this absolutely phenomenal bag made by my mother.
It's a really nice one.
Oh yes it is. It is on this like canvas material. Got a pocket here and a zipper pocket here. The handles are fantastic. Okay, so when you put your project in, guess what else it's got?
That is
Amazing!
too neat.
Yes, so I've got a new bag from my mom that I'm a tiny bit excited about.
Me too. That is really neat.
And it's got a pocket on the inside anyway. Okay, so my two FOs are the same pattern, okay? But they look incredibly different. These are two cowls made from the same pattern. Neither one of them followed the pattern, okay? Neither one of them. One of them wasn't in the same weight that the pattern calls for. The pattern calls for fingering weight, and it calls for 13 different minis, okay? The first one that I did was in a bulky, semi-bulky, and worsted weight yarn. 3 colors of larger fat material. And the second one I did was in fingering, but I got 1 full skein and 5 mini skeins. So I improvised the color placement essentially for all of these. I improvised the stitch count for the larger one, and I will go through each one of these, but I do want to talk a little bit about the pattern first. So the pattern is called Benevolence.
Kind of matches the inside of that bag.
Yeah. So it's called Benevolence, and it's by Sarah of No Hooks Given. Okay. And I have a lot of notes written on here because I took a lot of notes while I was making modifications so that I could make these samples for the vendors that are going to be at this retreat. It called for, so I'll just pull out the first one. The first one that I did was this one here.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
I like it.
And this is with the alpaca from Yarnageddon.
Dang, that's really nice.
I know. So if you look at this dark brown, can you see the purple in that?
Oh, that's the one that...
Mm-hmm. So this brown and purple, this lighter one, and this orangey one are 3 different weights of yarn. Okay. With this cowl, those are the 3 colors I had. Okay. And I used a size E crochet hook because this is crochet. With this brown, here's the hook I used. With this brown, this skein started as 92 grams. And I had 17 grams left when I was finished. I put this brown between each of the other 2 colors because I thought that dark brown kind of pulled out each of the other 2 colors. It contrasted well with both. Mm-hmm. So I put this brown between each of the other colors. So I used more of this than I did the other 2 colors. All right. With this orange or this purple periwinkle, I started with 97 grams. Sorry, I've got a little hay on that one. Started with 97 grams and I have 62 grams left. Okay. This one was considered the bulky. The brown one, I believe, was semi-bulky. Nope, that was worsted. Which means this orange one is the semi-bulky. Yep. And this one started with 84 grams. And I have 56 grams left. All right. These were the ones by Yarnageddon. They don't weigh their skeins. They just measure yardage. Okay. So this is the first finished object. Now, when I had my cast on party, I immediately set those socks down because I just cast on socks. And I needed to finish these 2 samples, okay, so that our vendors would be able to get their kits together. And when I showed it to them, I have a friend with an amazing sense of humor, and she said, guess who did this one? Guess who did this one? Yeah. You want to guess why she said that?
Because you don't finish your projects.
I thought it was great. It's finished.
No, it's not.
Well, I'm finished with it.
It's about as close to finished as you'll get.
Okay, so that is my first FO. Now the second one, because that yarn came from Yarnageddon, that was the alpaca farm, yeah? So the second one that I did was the Palouse, and that was that dark sapphire blue single that was the 115 gram skein that I showed you in new stuff. And the main skein that I got for that one is this blue. Okay. And it is 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon, 100 grams, 393 yards. Now, I have not weighed this to know what I have left at the end of this project because she had her weight on here. Like it shows it was started as 100 grams. The only reason why I weighed the other ones is because I didn't know what I was starting with. I haven't finished this. I haven't weighed these at the end. So that's the first main color. Okay. Now, I also got a set of minis to make into this sample, and it consisted of 5 colors. Okay. And these were 85% superwash, 15% nylon, 20 gram minis. Okay, and again, this is by Palouse. Lolo Sock Mini bundle. Okay, and those colors were this green, this yellow, this pink, this red, and this blue. Ugh. Let's see if I can do it. Can I? My hand looks a bit distorted, but okay. Oh, no. Okay, nope, got it. So those are the minis. Now when you put this up there, I was gonna do the same thing I did with the other one. I was just gonna alternate this between each of the minis. You see an issue there? Not much contrast, right? So we just got rid of the blue one and we alternated with these. And we did 2 sets. Okay, and I'll show you here in a second. I did use a size G hook for this one, which was the recommended for this pattern. And here is the FO minus that end. So here is where I started. And then I did the mini and then the main, different mini. So I just put the main color, the full skein, in between each of the minis. So there's my ends. So yeah, those are my 2 finished objects. Now I'll tell you, I was really glad that this was crochet. Okay, this is one reason I love crochet, because I had the main, the red, the main, the green, the main, and then I had put that blue in and did the pink and yellow. Okay, so I had the blue one in here in between the green and the yellow. So I had a big block because you couldn't see a difference. And to take that out was like speedy quick. Like I took it out and I was able to have it done within hours. Like the whole thing was finished. It was a lot of fun. It was very easy to read my work once I started going. So that is my second FO. What do you think? You want to touch that?
It's got a little bounce to it a little bit.
It does. You squeeze it and it bounces back at you. So anyway, that is my second FO. And that's it. That's it. That's all I've got for projects. I wanted to make sure I mentioned that I had gone on that mill tour, which by now in this video, I'm so hot, you guys. By now in this video, I will have put the photos from that in there. We went back out to...
it's 90 degrees.
Yeah, we went back out to the alpaca farm on the 3rd of July to celebrate Independence Day. And we got to sit in this field, the pasture, with the alpacas. Like we just put our lawn chairs in there and the alpaca were just walking around and sniffing us and smelling our wagon and smelling our chairs and everything. There was just like, and so they have 70 alpaca there and 4 llamas. Yeah. And then all these fireworks just going off. It was phenomenal. We had such a great time, and it's such a welcoming bunch of people out at that yarn shop. So again, the yarn shop is called Yarnageddon. If you are local and you haven't checked them out, you guys, they are so friendly and so full of information with their alpacas. And I mean, this was the first time I've really seen an alpaca, and they were amazing, like truly amazing. I'll incorporate a picture of one of them that he really liked me. Are you mocking me?
No.
Yeah, no, he was my bud.
Yeah, I want to see.
I'll take you out there.
Yeah, like a real alpaca.
Yeah, they want to meet Anthony. They want to meet you.
Oh, they do? Is that what they said?
Yes, that's what they said.
They said, hey, bring your boy.
The shop owners said they would love to meet you.
Oh.
Not the alpaca.
That's why I was just like,
alpacas don't talk.
Well, no.
Duh.
Well, no, I was just like, is that what they said? They said that?
No, alpacas don't talk, Anthony. That's kind of silly.
That's what. Yep. I didn't know that.
Yeah, the shop owners would love to meet you.
Okay. So were they saying that because they're just really nice, friendly people, or?
No, I went out there on the 3rd of July.
Mm-hmm.
Alex and her dad and I went out there, and we were the only ones there for a good long while. So we got to sit and visit.
Yeah.
And so we got to talking, and of course I'm a proud mom, and I got to talking about my kids, and Anthony is a big part of my everyday, right? And so talking about him and how I got to start knitting, and he was a big part of why I started knitting. So it was pretty, so they were like, I talked about you and, you know, a little bit of your history, and they were like, oh my gosh, we would love to meet him.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, the owner said that, not the alpaca.
Well, I'd like to meet them both.
Yeah, well, I'll have to take you out there.
Yeah.
So yes, I think that's it. I'm getting ready for this retreat, you guys, and my mom is coming for this retreat.
I'm excited about that.
I have so many new project bags, and I'm not putting them up on the website because I want to make sure our booth at the retreat is full. And then after the retreat, I will make sure that the shop up on the website is current, because like I got this new package and I had several of the cake pods in there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Grandma made more of those?
Yeah, the cake pods, which is what I have my little mini ball in, that has the handle, the wristlet, and it's got the pockets in there, and yeah, I have one left. One more left to take to retreat with me, and I was like, okay, I need to just hold on to stuff so that we have things to put in our booth.
Okay, I did the same thing.
Yep. So what you did?
What do I do?
Okay, so you see what the white should have come through the blue. So
okay,
you're gonna take the blue off.
Yep. Take it off.
Take the white off, and then pull the white through the blue.
Okay.
And put it back on the needle.
Okay.
Got it?
Yep. So now I know.
So yeah. So I've got loads of stuff from my mom. I'm just not going to put them on the website until I know that we've got enough for the booth at the retreat. So the sun is moving. It is burning my toes because
my tootsies are a little toasty.
Yeah,
too.
it's the sunshine is moving towards us, and this tree that we're sitting under. Let's see if I can. We're sitting underneath a tree here. Is no longer going to be providing us with shade.
Yeah, like this, like it's providing shade to like my belly button.
It's easing up my arm.
Yeah.
This is a good time to stop.
Yeah.
I need an icy cold beverage.
Yeah.
So you guys, that's it. That's it for today. And
I'm wearing pants.
He's wearing full pants.
I am.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna go.
Okay.
All right, you guys. If you are watching Christmas in July vlog, you will see more of us between now and the next 2 weeks. If you are not watching the vlogs, which is totally fine, it's not for everybody, we will be recording another episode in about 2 weeks. And we will see you guys then. Bye.
Ciao.